Hi there, how's everyone doing? Welcome to day 2 of No Nut November. If you watched my previous video, you would have seen me mention that the first 3 days would be rather difficult. Don't worry though, I have someone who can help you through that process. Before I introduce him, let me give you a quick introduction. Father Sophrony was a revered Orthodox Christian monk, theologian, and spiritual writer, best known as a disciple and biographer of Saint Sophrony the Athonite. Born in Russia, he trained as an artist in Paris before dedicating his life to monasticism on Mount Athos, where he spent many years under the guidance of Saint Sophrony. After his elders' repose, Father Sophrony became a profound spiritual teacher and later founded the monastery of St. John the Baptist in Essex, England. His writings, marked by deep theological insight and mystical experience, explore themes of divine love, prayer, and the human person's encounter with God. In this video, Father Sophrony will discuss the 6 stages of temptation, what actually goes through the human mind, and how temptation leads to lust and acting out such a sin. Before I bring him on, I'd just like to note that although the views expressed by Father Sophrony are that of someone who has spent a lifetime studying Christian doctrine, this advice is not just for Christians alone and can actually help people of all religions and even secular people. I'd advise you to try and take the advice given and reformat it in a way to fit your own lifestyle and beliefs. And now, without further ado, Father Sophrony.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Although it is common knowledge to many, I have met few Christian young people who understand the 6 stages of temptation as set forth by patristic and ascetic sources, mainly within the Philokalia. The arena of daily battle for Christians is the mind, and the mind is assaulted daily by thoughts. As a young man, I viewed these thoughts as inseparable from my being, and since the thoughts were usually foul and blasphemous, I viewed myself as such. When I first read about the 6 stages, I was set free from a great deal of guilt, and it became my desire to help others become free. It is important to note that for many, the first 4 stages take place immediately and without our knowledge. With time, a person will be able to see the stages as they take place and fight against them. This is the beginning of the road to sinlessness, or at least the pursuit of such, as Christ says, "Be ye perfect as I am perfect, and go and sin no more, lest something worse befall you." The 6 stages are as follows. Suggestion. Our lives are absolutely overflowing with suggestions such as images, videos, and blasphemous thoughts. This is the stage in which we must wage war. The temptation must be crushed with the various weapons of warfare, especially the sign of the cross and the Jesus prayer. Remember that absolutely no sin is committed at this stage. It is simply the demons pelting us with the arrows of suggestion. Disturbance of the intellect. This stage is the calm before the storm, the brief pause as we come to the self-awareness that we have a choice to fight for good or evil by accepting or refusing the suggestion. No sin has been committed in this stage either, but we are already beginning to play with fire by allowing this slight pause to go unchecked. Coupling. The coupling stage is when we begin to become attached to the thought. We think of the possibilities and create our own thoughts and imagine sinful deeds. This is the beginning of sin, and we are guilty of any new thoughts conceived, but the root thought is not enacted, so do not give up but cast the thought aside. Assent. Once we decide to commit a sin, to act upon the thought, we have entered the 4th stage, and we are guilty of committing the sin at least in thought, even though, God willing, we might be saved from the actual action. Predisposition. Continuously slipping into stage 4 leads to a predisposition to a particular sin or sinning. The Fathers call this the second nature. Our human nature is fallen and predisposed to sin, but it's not our nature to sin. Sin can become our second nature. In other words, our true nature is purity, and sin is something foreign. Passion. In this final stage, the thought has become a passion, dominating our lives, making us obsess over the sin and driving us to sin habitually and repeatedly. Despite this, the passion can and must be rooted out and healed. The effort will take every ounce of strength we have, but God is faithful and will deliver us. Before I leave you, I will give this one last piece of advice. When I was asked, "Father, how will we be saved?" I said, stand on the edge of the abyss, and when you feel that it is beyond your strength, break off and have a cup of tea.